This is a continuation of Slice's Ghost Club novel that it's turned into via one-page short stories. So Edgar, who you might recall wearing sunglasses that can read minds, is reading the other members of the Ghost Club, Ruby and Dell's mind. He pesters Ruby to confess about what we learned last time, which is these magical moonflowers that they've taken from the Golden Cloud City have magical powers which turn them into gods, but also at the same time has caused a massive plague within that ancient and mystical city. So he's pestering her to reveal that to Dell, and meanwhile he asks Dell to reveal his secrets to Ruby. Both of them are kind of not happy at all with Edgar's piercing into their minds, but as Edgar spills all the beans of everybody's thoughts and says Ruby's causing a plague and she's not returning the flowers and Dell's not any better. He just stole this artifact that we're searching for that's going to be in the wrong hands. He gave it to his dad, and then kerpump, kerpow.
It's
Sounds
even
like he
more.
got hit over the head by somebody or something.
Did they get snuffed out too? Is that the way we're ending this?
A lot of snuffing out, actually, it seems like.
Yeah, it's more terrifying because we don't know. It's funny that we have, so in terms of plot device or like artifacts in the world, from previous stories, we have the sunglasses that allow you to read people's minds, which kind of gives the narrator his omniscience. And then we also have the earring that allows you to communicate with your ancestors. And then we have the moonflowers that give super. So there's a lot of different artifacts that are getting superpowers. Plus this eagle talon, right? Which
Right.
we don't. Do we know what the eagle talon is doing?
No, we don't.
We just know it's a fourth magical object
Right.
entered in that we're juggling now.
Yeah.
I liked that this took place over dialogue. It was Edgar to Dell, Edgar to Ruby. You know, Edgar's the one who's pushing for the reveals here because he's wearing the magic sunglasses. We also have the repetition of, "Are you going to tell us?" Edgar said to Dell, and then he says, "Are you going to tell us again?" Edgar said to Ruby. So that repetition was really good in terms of Edgar's character development.
Mhm.
I also liked that there's a central conflict, like a moral, decision that Ruby's gonna have to make. It's like, we can save the Cloud City by returning the flowers, but it would cause Ruby to have to give up her popularity, that the flowers, the confidence that they're doing, and
Mhm.
Ruby doesn't want to do that. So it seems
Mhm.
like there's going to be either some moral growth or immoral growth.
Right. Yeah.
One way or the other. I don't know. What do you find you hope Ruby does, Tom?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it was kind of great that Ruby's reacting sort of like somebody who's addicted to a drug. You know what I mean? Where they're like, "Hey, I'm popular now. Like, I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, don't, like mind your own business." And it's like, "Whoa, Ruby, chill. Like, you think you need to? Maybe you should return those flowers."
You're hurting
Um,
everyone in Cloud City.
Yeah, I mean, your ancestors. You're the one that brought us to Cloud City. So it's definitely an interesting sort of how the tables have turned and sort of how the character Ruby was initially sort of the leader and sort of stalwart of the group and now she's like sort of become an antagonist. So I think that sort of character development was interesting. I think so. I don't know if maybe I'm reading too far into it or not, but so all the objects you mentioned are sensory, right? Like sight for the eyes, the earrings are the ear. You've got the tepeolotl cola, which is like taste and
Taste and physical vibrations on a
right,
geologic scale.
right. We have this claw, which seems I don't know what, but maybe touch. And then the Edgar mentions smelling the moonflowers. So here's two things: either the
Mm,
moonflowers are so pungent you can just smell it out of the back. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
mhm.
hey, I can smell the moonflower. You know what I mean? You smell like a brewery. Like it's not a secret. Or it's like he's found some sort of another object to hypersensitize his olfactory senses, and now he has super smell powers that other people don't know about. So I don't know which one of those two it is, but I think it's one of the two.
It's like a Voltron of enhanced sensory
Yeah, the Aztecs
supplementation.
had hypersensitive technology, it seems, It's
Mhm.
fascinating. It's a fascinating story.
It's also somewhat ironic that they go to the Aztec temple within the museum, and they're also communicating with their ancestors.
Right. It's really, I wonder what city it's in. This is a very,
Yeah, the last one
you know,
was in Toronto. I had a strong
right,
Canadian bias, but this one is any
right.
town in
Anytown,
the
USA, go
yeah,
to their museum. They have a solid Aztec
yeah.
exhibit with enchanted artifacts. It's